Darkskies. Are we on air finally? Good. Hey, welcome to Darkskies podcast coming to you live. Hey, what's that just got on? Ooh, feels so good. Be back. It's a beautiful night out there. Yeah, we chilling. Man, it's been a crazy week, y'all. And we're only halfway through. Crazy. But it is what it is. I mean, we're back, and I don't know. I get a lot of information to cover. I'm kind of fired up. I mean, of course, you know, all the usual suspects involved here. Your host here, me, yours truly, L.C. Grace. Thank you. We also got Mikey Nikes in the house. Jennifer, ones and twos, right? Yes, indeed. Jim's the man that's working tech support, and he's been fighting all day to try to keep us on the air. So, congratulations to him for work well done. You know, give him a hand. You know, for getting us back on there. Yes, indeed. But yeah, we're back on there, and like I said, it feels good. We're talking Mandela Effect, and we wanted to revisit a couple of subjects because we did the one show a few days ago, and of course we were talking dreams and memories, and of course, you know, I shared a few. Well, I shared my most intimate dreams with everybody, but you know, I also was sure to let you know that, you know, how real I felt, you know, these dreams were, and you know, it was really hard to try to break it down because I was trying to basically relay to you by memory a dream. And, you know, I didn't have it wrote down or nothing. All these was multiple dreams. I didn't have nothing planned. I basically just told you everything by memory. And the funny thing about it is, and Mikey brought it up, he said, well, man, you said you told your dreams by memory as if you was there. And I was like, well, man, if you just really could understand, you know, what it's like to have one of these dreams, man, you feel like you're there. I mean, you see everything, you're looking around, it's lucid. I mean, that's just the best way to describe it. It's lucid. You can look around, you can feel, you can see, you can walk, you can strategically, think. I don't know what type of dream that you've ever been in that you can actually, spend like time in it, where actual time in it pass. Like, it's the end of the day and you have been in it all day. It's just weird. That's why I say that, everybody can't possibly be having these dreams, but, I believe that some people are. And, thanks, to a lot of comments and reassuring, emails and, plenty of people out there have certain dreams when they go to sleep at night, and of course a lot of these people also are affected by the Mandela Effect, and they're having dreams of, them in incredible situations. Dreams similar to mine, where you kind of seeing like all hell break loose and it's like all around you and you pretty much like are in it. So it's like, I don't know. It's pretty incredible. It's hard to really explain because, like I said, it's almost like watching a movie but being in it. It's like a movie starring you. Or not even starring you, but a movie that you're just so much in that it's like everything is happening around you. It's like, I don't know, it's almost unbelievable. It's incredible. Because I can't even think of a movie that can match up to some of these dreams or some of these things that you can see, that you see. So it's like, I don't know, it's really crazy. But, I just wanted to talk to people, especially Mandela affected people, as well as people that are not affected by the Mandela effect, because I believe that these dreams are some type of connection. I believe that it's a reason that, that you can remember them so vividly, that you can remember every bits and pieces. I still can, I can remember what I was doing in a dream when things happen. I don't know, I just remember it all. That's why, I was able to do the show, without no preparation. Like, what, we can talk about, my dreams. And, Mikey was like, dude, okay, well, we can do that like next week or whatever. I'm like, nah, let's do it now. Because I believe that, it's connected. I believe that, if I can just talk to some of the Mandela Effect, that, maybe, some of their dreams will match up, because I really do. I believe that somehow, we're connected to these weird dreams. And, I want y'all to continue to, send me your messages about, just tell me what you're dreaming about. What kind of dreams are you having? And are they like just crazy? Are they of end times or some type of cataclysm or attack? Or, the reason I'm asking is because, I believe in my heart there's a reason for everything, for every cause, there's an effect. Right now, a lot of people really concentrate on the Mandela Effect. Me, I'm looking for the cause. I'm looking for more. I need more. I believe that, if we're affected and we remember, we remember, parts from, something that's different than what's being presented before us. So, what are you thinking about when you go to sleep and you dream? And you know the difference. I mean, if you had one of these dreams, trust me, you will remember every single bit of it, because it's something way more crazier than, you dreaming about eating a box of Fruit Loops, or, dang, would they even be Fruit Loops? I'm telling you, it's really crazy now. I want to share a theory too, and I believe it's, holds a little bit of merit. Now, if you think about each and every person who was affected by the Mandela Effect, now, let's break it down to one person. I hate to always keep using myself, but I don't want to place this on nobody else. Okay, if anybody got to be crazy, okay, LC is crazy. Anyway, now think about me. Now, say if somebody wanted to take me and move me from here to somewhere else. Okay, now think of how would do that if you wanted to you're at home and you're at your home computer and you want to take your information with you. So you copy your files, save them onto a flash drive, put it in your pocket, carry it with you, get to wherever you're going, maybe school, sit down, turn on the computer at school, plug in your flash drive, open your files, and there you have it. All the information is there. Okay, now say you have two dimensions. Say you have LC in one dimension and you want to move LC over into the next dimension. Well, okay, you're not going to take the whole computer, right? The whole computer, you ain't going to move the whole dimension. You're just going to make a copy of LC's information. Now, that information probably will be considered the soul, right? So they copy all that information, and then they carry it over to the next computer, which is the next dimension. Plug me in, turn me on, and basically, voila, there you have me. You'd have to move me physically. You didn't have to change nothing in my dimension. You didn't have to change nothing in the other dimension. Just plug my information into the next dimension, and boom, there I am. I'm just trying to make it simple so people can understand, that people are almost like information. Our souls carry our information, our memories, and all of that. So you can take that, make a copy of it, move it over, then plug it in. The slight differences is, in the first computer, you have one, desktop. This is your normal desktop when your program is running in. Your file is right there on the desktop. Well, when you open up at the desktop at the school, well, it's a different background. But your file open up right there, boom. So now you're in this computer, but same file. So that's how I think that we seem to have information from the first computer. You're remembering the first desktop. Last time I was opened, my file was opened, I was in, the home computer. Now that I'm in the school computer, I see the difference in the desktop, and, I know I'm in a computer because I see the desktop, but, there's differences, and that's what you're seeing. Your information has been transferred over basically into a different computer, and you're noticing the difference in the desktop when your file was opened. So, I don't know, that's just like a theory and a kind of a way that I can try to explain, how we can end up from one place to another and how it's possible, if there are two different dimensions and if somebody wanted to move you without actually physically moving you, they'll just take your information and then place it into the new computer or the new dimension and then open you up there, and you wouldn't know too much of the difference if you didn't pay too much of attention. So, it's just really crazy if you look at it, but I'm trying to find different ways that I can explain it without losing everybody. I probably did lose everybody right there, but I don't know. I just think that, it's a whole lot going on. There's people, if we all come together, we talk, we discuss, maybe we can make sense of it and, and like I said, find a cause to this effect. Because to me, that's my major objective. I believe that if we all, we gotta share our dreams. Y'all gotta, be brave like I was, and to, tell the world what what you're dreaming. Well, maybe you don't have to tell the world, but you know what you're dreaming. And if it match anything, but we need more people. We need people to stand up and just tell the truth. If you're dreaming and you have crazy dreams or crazy past, then come on, y'all, let's talk about it. It might make you feel better because, trust me, I always felt better because I'm confident in who I am and no matter where I'm at. And I'm always going to be learning. I'm always going to be open. I'm always going to be drawing in knowledge. So I don't care where my file is opened up, they're going to see knowledge. Ain't that right, Mikey? But anyway, we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back, and we're going to talk about Cern and what's going on and how they connected to what's going on. Because a lot of people are saying, did I have any dreams about Cern? So stay tuned. We'll be right back. Y'all been listening to Darkskies podcast coming to you live.
Kids, what make me feel so good? See,
Los
looking at
Angeles,
the glory that's coming up into the
be right back.
of life. See, the younger youth is what's gonna make everything to keep going after I done passed down the hill.
Young, black, and black. Tony Black.
As I sing this on to you, realize nothing belongs to you. No need to be alarming you. It's martial laws, the army you. Only informing you to what you've been conforming to as you're grilling your steroid chicken pig at your barbecue. Man lessons, the grand deception. The money, power, greed, and the plan infectious. New world order in order for more seconds. And at this second death is present, I can see his presence. World domination, abomination, abomination. Combination of complications, a confrontation. Black on black murder, where they trap and pack burners. Put you flat on that curve and ain't no need for conversation. See the bigger picture, my nigga, we all victims. With a Lynch syndrome, still suffer from symptoms. Why we kill each other over colors in the street? Profile shot down by the government police. I just wanna preach peace, but that is hard to see when the blood still shed, running red is defeat. America's a war zone for that black boy. Endangered species, wonder why we pack toys. Fill the void with the liquor, gun shops run away. My hood, your hood, every hood is the same. You black like me, then you was born with this pain. But being black is beautiful, don't ever be ashamed.
No, that's true. That for me and for you, the world is a ghetto. Don't you know? Don't you know that's true? And for me and for you, the world is a ghetto.
Then there's a lot of funky things in this country, and there's good things too. But you run to more funky than you good. Shit ain't getting better.
Changed some for the best, an awful lot of cases for the worse, and some they have not changed at all.
Walking down the street, foggy eyes, looking at the sky, starry eyed, searching for a place weary eyes, crying in the night, yeah, yeah, teary eyes.
Don't you know that it's true? That for me and for you, the world is a ghetto. Don't you know? Don't you know that it's true? And for me and for you, the world is a ghetto.
We got to get our minds together. Anytime a brother was shot, another brother in his own neighborhood didn't go to his funeral and turn over his own casket. They need to have the police down here. Because see, the niggas is NAACP. Niggas ain't acting like colored people.
If I can't work and make it, I see them take it.
You know what? A nigga can put air in a bottle and sell it. He's doing it. A nigga can sell anything. I ain't gonna lie to you.
As I watch the sky change colors, the rain flooded the neighborhoods of the black brothers. The black mothers are stressing the coroners had covered another statistic, episodes of a cold summer. The street runners got the same legs of Michael Johnson. The fast life surpassed life beyond the conscience. Profanity in the air, the children use the content. The vanities in the air, that Louis bag haunted. That Black girl with the hair, that's kinda coarse. Her baby daddy's in court, she's smoking on a Newport. 17 with dreams of becoming a stripper or becoming an AIDS victim while touching them zippers. The life that we living in, things we would do just to live again. How can an angel forever live in sin?
That's true. That for me and for you, the world is a ghetto. Don't you know? Don't you know that it's true? And for me and for you, the world is a ghetto. Don't you know that it's true? That for me and for you, the world is a ghetto. Don't you know? Don't you know that it's true? And for me and for you, the world is a ghetto.
You know, anybody that uses somebody else to gain, it's pimping.
Okay, but I'm gonna tell you what, Stone brother, look at here. Ain't nobody pimp you but your pimp ass self. You understand?
Then there's a lot of funky things in this country, there's good things too. But you run some more funky than you good. Shit ain't getting better.
They've changed some for the best. An awful lot of
Yeah,
cases
you're
for the
listening to
worse.
Darkskies,
And some they have not changed at all.
podcast, baby. From Los Angeles, California. From LA to the Bay. What's up, San Jose? Yes, y'all, it feels good to be back. It feels good to be back. But, we are in full effect, and we're still talking dreams, we're talking Mandela Effect, and we're talking, can there be any connection to our dreams? And is it possible that our dreams could possibly be memories? You know, memories of a life, once lived. One thing we can all agree on is that our memories seem to be out of place. Don't seem to match up to what we believe and what we see. But another thing that falls in the category is I've done a lot of research, me and my team, my friends, a lot of people who have been contacting me, and a lot of the research for the Mandela Effect seemed to be traced back to a source. Now, it's funny because, Cern is the source. Now, I've studied Cern for a very long time. I've done a lot of research on Cern. I've done a lot of reporting stories. I mean, you probably can look online and see that I've had quite a bit of interest in Cern for quite a while. Interesting. I mean, everything about them just says that, they're the people that I may be looking for. When I say that I have memories of a past where I don't know, let's stick with the dreams so I don't upset people. I had dreams in the past of, our people. I keep saying us because I never want to separate myself, but our world being tricked now into building that machine. Now you have to understand, this is not Earth technology in your traditional sense. Now, one of these machines was supposedly been built, in our solar system before, and a great war was fought over it, and this is a celestial war. This goes way back, even before recorded history. There was a whole lot happening back then. But, that planet was destroyed when that gate was opened on that planet. And now there's nothing but an asteroid belt there. That planet that used to be in between, Mars and Jupiter. And now there's an asteroid belt. And now you have the people who used to live on that planet. Now, it's crazy because, and a lot of these dreams and you know, it just shows Earth as a reptilian planet. Like, you know, all planets kind of was made, you know, to adapt to certain types of life. And this planet was basically made to, you know, house reptilians. That's why you keep digging up dinosaurs. Now, we got a whole lot of shows to do on that. Y'all think dinosaurs are stupid, but we got shows coming up where we believe the dinosaurs was not stupid. Not by a long shot. Okay, but anyway, let me not get off path. Anyway, we believe that that machine that exists down there in Geneva, off the, you know, between Switzerland, come on, we all know where it's at. But this machine, you know, they were tricked into building it. And everybody know about the field of dreams. It's actually a Mandela Effect. Well, in our old dimension, they were tricked into building that machine. And then the field of dreams, the voice says, you know, if you build it, they will come. And they thought that it was a promise. But really, it was a warning. So, a lot of people, you know, really believed, and they built that machine. And when they opened it, they came, and they destroyed everything. So that's like, those are just in the dreams. Now, everybody keeps saying, did you dream about Cern? No, I wasn't there when Cern opened it. But you have to understand what happened, you know, in the dreams. You know? It was almost like when they opened it, they seized control of the gate and applied it to their technology, simultaneously opening gates all around the world, and basically it was like a crazy type invasion. But this is a dream, right? Because of course, you know, we're living here and none of this stuff is happening. So, yay! Well, I'm just talking about the dreams. So I'm like, what type of dreams are you having? Do you have any crazy dreams or any type of like crazy invasion? Do you remember running and hiding? Do you remember everything, you know, just being tore up? I don't know. That's just, you know, do you remember your dreams? You know, that's number one. So, you know, you want to know how Cern may be connected. You know, all this research, and, you know, you see these videos and you see Cern and the guy sitting there with the Mandela, you know, sign on his lap. And also you see the ceremonies and, you know, the different rituals that they do. And you say, oh, ain't nothing, they just tripping. And no, I'm telling you, they're invoking something, you know, that they hope to be something else, but it's not. It's tricking them, and once they gain access or do what they do, you know, it's going to be ugly. But like I said, you know, this is a different place, different timeline. This is not my dream. You know, like I said, I can't say that, you know, I can see the future. But I picked Atlanta Falcons to win the Super Bowl. So I keep telling you, I'm not a psychic. You know, I'm not saying that I can see the future and all this stuff is going to happen here. I don't know. All I know is that, you know, in my memory, I just have a memory of our people being tricked into building something, you know, and, you know, they were expecting one thing and got something completely different. Just like on the first planet, where people, much like us, believed that same lie, and they built the machine, and they came. Now here it's different. Now, if you watch the movie Field of Dreams, it says, you know, if you build it, he will come. Now, I don't know if I'm even more worried because maybe they're a step closer in this dimension and that they're invoking a single deity or entity, or maybe that's what they think, and then they're going to get the business. I don't know, but they seem to be connected as far as the cause. or part of the cause. But it's unknowingly. They think, it's all like some type of religious and ceremony type stuff, and that, something is going to come and free them or reward them, but no. They invoke the destroyer. Something is far darker. But this crazy dreams, and I, never let it get to me to the point where, I'm frightened. I just watch, because like I said, I don't see nothing in today's life, today's world, in my everyday life. I have to get up every day. I take my kids to school. I work. I live my life. But I also research and I study and I read and I study the differences and I prepare to be a lot more than what I used to be. Because I feel like I have to. I feel like I have to learn. I feel like I owe it to not just myself, but, the people that I remember in my dreams that were surviving just like I was. So one thing I find comfort in is that I was never alone. It was always people. Wasn't a lot. It was always people. And then I find comfort in when I wake up and I see a whole world today. And I continue to wake up to it. Where people are here. And, there's grass and trees and wind and rain and, all the things that, I remember growing up. Even though it's not exactly the same, you come to terms with that. And, you find comfort in knowing that, somehow life finds a way. But there's always evidence, Just like, if you just look at the signs, but maybe some people choose to forget. It's hard to have memories of such crazy things. It's hard to have dreams. I wish I could just forget my dreams. I don't understand why I can sit here and talk about them like I'm like I talked to you about my graduation. I'm talking to you about, how I used to, read maps in the Navy. So, I know what the world map looked like, so I know that I don't know, it's just crazy. You know who you are. You know where you've been. You have your memories, you keep them. You have your dreams. You keep those. I'm not saying not be happy. I'm not saying not it, to look for some type of crazy war or for this Cern to do something crazy. I mean, maybe, I don't even know. But that's why I'm talking to people. That's why, we do the show. That's why we got the website. That's why, the whole team is put together. That's why we do endless research. Because even though, we have an everyday life, we all know that there's more. And I don't know about you, but that fascinates me. To know that there's more. A lot more. And, if you hear, you was meant to experience more. You can find comfort in that, right? You was meant to experience more. That it wasn't set for you to just fall off or disappear. Mikey said that, maybe it's possible that we were saved by our future versions of ourselves, or like we were their ancestors and they didn't want to, be extinct. So in order to keep themselves from being extinct, they had to save us. So y'all messing up. So if y'all all go extinct, then y'all mess it up for people in the future. So ain't that something to think about? If you made it to a high level of intelligence, and you had the ability to go back and save yourself. I don't know. That was one that I had to think about. I was like, man, you never know. But we were definitely saved because we're here. This is a different place, but at the same time, it is a place. You are alive, you breathe it, you experience it more instead of no more. And I believe that that's good. But I believe that each and every one of us, no matter where you're from, have something to do. It exists for some type of reason. I'm happy. I'm having fun because, life could have just been boring, right? I could have just lived, worked every day, and died. But instead, I'm getting to experience life on so many different levels. I don't even know if y'all even go to my Facebook or even check the Twitter. But like I said, LC Grays is my real name. I've never lied to y'all. I'm not hiding. I'm not somewhere in a cave in the woods. I'm not, some weird person. I'm just LC Grays from Compton, California. And I enjoy learning. And there's a lot of people like me. They have open minds that enjoy researching hard topics. And there's no harder topic than the Mandela Effect, especially if you're somebody who's, affected. So, wow. Let's continue to do this together, y'all. And don't look at it as a horrible thing. Look at it as an opportunity to grow in spirit, soul, mind, body. Let's learn. Because me, I got a lot to learn. And to somebody who kind of enjoy learning, giving me a lot to learn and giving me more to study, and I guess that's God's way of keeping me busy, huh? So we're going to break it down, and of course I'll definitely be working on another show coming up very soon. But like I said, y'all just don't know. There's so much stuff that we're learning. It's like we're opening the matrix and decoding all this stuff, and just having fun and sharing our thoughts, and hoping to spark discussion and positive comments, y'all. Thank you for them all. And like I said, if you want to email me, lcgrays@yahoo.com. Yeah, I love y'all. Check out the podcast on YouTube when you get a chance. Share it. And let's do it together, y'all. So, once again, I'm your host, LC Grays. Mike and Mike's in the building. And shit, Jim. I'll see you over there, Jennifer on the ones and twos. And once again, we gone. You've been listening to Darkskies podcast, coming to you live from Los Angeles, California. Thanks for joining us. And like I said, hit us up.